Hello, friend. I think almost every teenager goes through a phase where they want to be noticed. You want people to know you. You want to be that person everyone talks about. You want to look cool, interesting, different, or maybe even become that one boy or girl everyone seems to notice. And honestly, there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting attention. We're human. We naturally want to feel seen, appreciated, accepted, and valued. But there is a point where wanting attention slowly turns into needing it. And that's where things can become exhausting. I've actually been through this myself, although it didn't last very long. So today, I want to talk about why we seek attention, when it becomes unhealthy, and what happened when I decided to stop chasing it. Let's first understand why people want attention in the first place. Attention can feel good. When people notice you, appreciate you, compliment you, laugh at what you say, or admire something you do, it can give you a temporary feeling of validation. And that's completely normal. The problem begins when that feeling becomes something you constantly need. You start doing things not because you genuinely want to do them, but because you want the reaction that comes afterwards. You start thinking, will people notice this? Will they think I'm cool? Will they like me more if I act this way? And slowly, the goal stops being to live your life and starts becoming getting a reaction from other people. There's also a difference between simply receiving attention and desperately chasing it. You can get attention because of your work, your skills, your personality, your creativity, or simply because you're being yourself. You don't have to become someone else to be noticed. But unhealthy attention seeking can happen when you start changing your personality, your behavior, or even your values just to get a reaction. You create a version of yourself that you think everyone will like, and then you start performing that version everywhere you go. You aren't being appreciated for who you actually are anymore. You're being appreciated for a character you've created. And honestly, I think this is where social media makes things even harder. We're constantly seeing people who have built an entire image around being interesting, attractive, confident, mysterious, funny, successful, or different. And because we see those identities getting attention, we sometimes start thinking that we need to become one of them too. We start asking, what kind of person gets attention? Instead of asking, what kind of person do I actually want to be? And those two questions can take you in completely different directions. Personally, I was also like this for a short period of time. I used to care a lot about fitting in. I would think about how people saw me, how I behaved around them, and whether I was being interesting enough. I wanted to be noticed, and I wanted people to have a certain opinion of me. And at first, it didn't seem like a big deal. But eventually, I realized how draining it actually was. I was spending so much energy trying to create an image that other people would like, instead of simply being myself. And then I realized something pretty simple. Why am I working this hard for attention from people whose opinions I don't even fully control? That realization genuinely changed something for me. I stopped trying so hard to fit in. I stopped constantly worrying about what people thought. And the more I stopped chasing their attention, the more comfortable I became with myself. I became more self-contained. I could do something I enjoyed without wondering whether someone else would think it was cool. I could have my own opinions without needing everyone to agree with me. And honestly, that feeling was much more fulfilling than getting attention ever was. Because one of the biggest problems with constantly seeking attention is that you slowly lose confidence in your actual self. You might think you're becoming more confident because more people are noticing you, but underneath that, you can become terrified of showing people who you really are. You start thinking, what if they don't like the real me? So you keep performing. And eventually, you don't even know whether you're doing something because you genuinely like it or because you think other people will react positively to it. And that's the trap. You start wasting energy maintaining an identity that other people will approve of. You stop doing things you genuinely enjoy because they aren't impressive enough. You change your opinions because your friends have different ones. You act differently around different groups because you're constantly trying to maintain the image you've created. And the more you do it, the harder it becomes to step away from it. There are also so many different forms of attention seeking that we don't always recognize. Sometimes it's being extremely loud, just so people notice you. Sometimes it's constantly talking about yourself. Sometimes it's trying desperately to appear different from everyone else. Sometimes it's exaggerating your personality because you think being normal isn't interesting enough. And sometimes it's even pretending not to care because you think being mysterious or emotionally distant will make people more curious about you. There are countless ways it can happen. That's why the important thing isn't to label yourself as an attention seeker. It's to actually observe yourself and ask why you're doing what you're doing. And I want to make something very clear. Wanting attention is not something you need to be ashamed of. Wanting people to notice you, appreciate you, or support you is completely human. Even confident people enjoy being appreciated. The difference is whether you can still feel okay when nobody is watching. Can you enjoy something without posting it? Can you have an opinion without needing everyone to agree? Can you be yourself without constantly checking whether people approve of you? Can you walk into a room without feeling like you have to perform? Because real confidence isn't desperately asking people to notice you. It's being comfortable enough with yourself. So if you realize you're stuck in this cycle right now, don't hate yourself for it. Just start becoming aware of it. Before you do something, ask yourself, would I still do this if nobody noticed? If the answer is yes, that's probably a good sign. If the answer is no, maybe it's worth thinking about why you need that attention so badly. And instead of trying to become socially impressive, start becoming personally fulfilled. Build skills because you genuinely want to learn them. Dress how you actually like. Spend time with people you genuinely enjoy. Have your own opinions. Try things because you're curious about them. And let people think whatever they want to think. Because the moment you stop trying to be interesting to everyone, you finally have enough energy to become interesting to yourself. And honestly, I think that's much more valuable. You don't need to become invisible. You don't need to stop expressing yourself. You don't even need to stop enjoying attention. Just stop making attention the reason behind everything you do. Be noticed for who you are, not for the character you created. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.